Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the lead with Jake Tapper. I'm Jake. Oh. Alright, that's not what this is. This is Payday. Man, I really thought I was moving up in the world. Anyways, moving on. We're here to talking about Payday 2 update 130 Shadow Warrior collaboration. Now, if you don't know what Shadow Warrior is, they're going to describe it here. Anyways, moving on to here. Free new content available, Shadow Warrior 2 and Payday 2. Heisters and Thugs. We're proud to announce the first collaboration of 2017, which is with our ninja friends at Flying Wild Hog. Did you ever want to dash and slice through mutilated fleas? What it says? Is that an eye? See, I'm going to go with fleas. Or other demonic creatures. In that case, you should definitely check out Shadow Warrior 2. Which from today on has Dallas waiting for you as a co-op skin. You heard right. Dallas entered the ninja universe and is ready to kick demonic in style with his AM car or money bundle. Now, I'm going to break down this thing first. So, you're telling me Dallas entered the universe. No one else. No one else seems to fit that role. I mean, there's Hero, there's, all a bunch of different characters, but you seem to pick Dallas. Now, I can understand why they wanted to pick Dallas specifically is because Dallas makes the most sense, right? Dallas, well, not really the most sense, but in terms of a marketing standpoint, does, because Dallas is the face of not really Overkill, but Payday 2, right? You have the signature American flag clown mask. So it makes sense to have him into the game, but just doesn't, in universe-wise, doesn't really make sense to me. So, moving on with that, the weapons that Shadow Warrior 2 will be getting is an AM car and a money bundle, which were literally the worst weapons in the game, which still, to be fair, are. I don't know if they'll change the weapon stats or if they'll be the same. Who knows? Also, I'm recording this on February the 1st because, well, I didn't know this was happening, so I didn't do it yesterday. But, and of course, you get Dallas as a co-op skin. So, there's less, but it feels like more, to be honest, with when it comes to Shadow Warrior. Now, when we go down to see the stuff for Payday 2, it makes me kind of feel like that this isn't worth it, but still a cool idea. But anyways, moving on to 4 new masks, right? This is where I kind of just... So, you get 4 new masks. You got Thorntal, Hata Amari, is that a CD? I don't know what that says. Is it CD, or is that a CO? Co-Cop Ninja, I'm guessing, and Anoa. I'm not really good at saying those names, so. But yeah, you get 4 new masks from the game, I guess. Yay. Moving on from that, you got Demons and Ninjas. Here we go. Yeah, this is where we start talking about these. After coming back from his first field trip, Dallas brought some gifts with him. One of his friends gave him his mask to honor his great achievements on the battlefield. Another told him it's common to bring home the heads of your enemies. Not sure if he was joking or not. So yeah, that's what you get there. Now, I mean, from a detail aspect, these look great masks, but the thing is that I don't know if I'll ever use these because I have my signature mask over here, my signature mask. So I don't know if I'll ever use these. I think if I had to pick one to use, I'd probably pick that one. Just because it seems kind of modern and futuristic. That was just a demon. That's weird, and that's it's Ghost in the Shell right there. Moving on from that, I'm gonna mess this up, but the Kazaguruma, or as I like to call it, Ninja Stars on wheels, rollerblades, whatever you call them, finally tasted blood being a ninja. Take the new Kazaguruma melee weapon and reel your way through the heists. Let those cloakers know that they are not the only ones anymore. But I have other stuff to feel like a ninja, like a katana, a kunai knife, shurikens, the Wolverine claw thingies. And that's pretty much it in terms of Shadow Warrior collaborations. Now, keep this in mind. Shadow Warrior got 3, but felt more in my opinion. They got 2 weapons, which I don't know if they'll carry over with the same stats or anything from Payday 2. And you got Dallas as a character. Now, wouldn't it be cool if it was kind of the other way around with Payday? Instead of, say, 4 masks, how about, I don't know, 1 mask, 1 or 2 masks because of the begins, and have, Mr. Wayne in the game. That would be so cool. And then you give him, like, his signature weapon, which could be this thing. You give the character a fully voiced, and I don't know, I feel like there's more to get in Shadow Warrior 2. So that those people, if you own both of these games, you're set. You don't have to worry about anything. For people who only own Payday 2, as you can guess from my content, you would have to pay for this. You have to pay for the game. And for myself, I don't feel willing to pay for the game solely just because of a Dallas mask, Dallas character skin. If it was Wolf, we would be on different terms. But since it's only Dallas, and still even then, if they had Wolf, it still wouldn't help me. Because so far what I've learned from the beginning of the game, it's, the characters are great, graphics are great, reload animations are great, story is meh. But what really comes down to it is gameplay. Now, I've heard the gameplay in Shadow Warrior is not the best. And the reason for that is they took a certain route with Borderlands 2 and implemented gems. If you don't know what gems are, not like, actual gems. In most games, they're stat boosts. There are little gems that give you stat boosts, and you can apply them to your weapon. And it just, if you want to see more, I recommend going and seeing Toll Biscuit's video about this. I don't know if it's still relevant, if they have fixed this, and if they have fixed this, then I stand corrected and I might actually buy this. But I don't know. I want to wait, and plus since there's a special collector's edition that I want, so you can see the problem here, right? You can see my problem. And if you can't, then, well, I like to buy collector's editions because I like to have everything. Almost, if I can, but, yeah. So, that's pretty much it. So, I feel like Payday got the lesser end, but I feel like it could have been better. It really could have been better if they tied it to 1 mask, 2 masks technically, if it was his character, a fully voiced Lo Wang, I'm pretty sure is his name. I remember him as Mr. Wayne or Mr. $10 million. And, give him this weapon, maybe give him a gun, something, and put him into the game. That would have been on both terms. Because Shadow Warrior, you're getting Dallas as a playable character skin. You get a gun and a melee weapon. If they had done that with Payday, where you get a character, you give him a melee weapon, and then you give him. But the problem with that then entails that he needs a perk deck. So I don't know. And the thing is here is that you can see in this image, he has like a kind of character. He's holding an car. So this might tease at a possible future update of a collaboration with Devolver and, Shadow Warrior and all that. So who knows? I could be completely wrong, and they might make a character for, Wayne later on. But right now, it just seems like Payday kind of got the shorter end. I don't know what the stats of the melee weapon. I haven't played Payday in a while. But yeah, it would have been, in my opinion, cool if you got character, his mask, and melee weapon. And then if you want, you can work on the perk deck later, right? But I think what they're doing, if they are going to do a character, right now they're getting the voice actor ready. They're thinking of ideas of how they're going to do this. They're wondering if they should make it DLC oriented or not. And once they have that all planned out, then we'll probably see it in the next few months. Probably around July, June, depending on games at that time and everything. But I really hope that, Wayne gets to be in Payday. Because, there have been two characters that I've always wanted in Payday. That being Wayne and Mr. Foster. Now, Wayne seems more plausible. Mr. Foster doesn't, I guess. But, when you have demons and stuff going on with Wayne, I think there's a probability here where you could probably get away with Mr. Foster. I'm just saying. Of course, Killing Floor 2, Mr. Foster. Nothing wrong with Mr. Foster and Killing Floor 1, but I prefer 2. Feels a bit more hard and heavy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you do own Shadow Warrior 2, I recommend picking up Payday 2 just because... Well, actually, you don't really need to pick up Payday 2. For anybody who owns Payday 2 and, I recommend this. Before you buy this game, ask your friends to play with you. Ask a few of your friends to play this game with you because that's the only way I can see this game being enjoyable. The single player might be alright, but I feel like multiplayer is the way to go. That way all of you can sit there, go through your gems, makes the gameplay a bit more like Borderlands-esque. Even though I don't really like the idea of that, but I still feel that you should get a few of your friends before you buy Shadow Warrior 2 just for a Dallas skin and a gun and a melee weapon. But that's all I'm trying to say. Overall, I really hope that they get Wang into the game. I just think that I think what they're doing is, if they are doing it, they're probably getting the voice actor ready. They're thinking of ideas for the perk deck, and they're trying to figure out how they want to market this. They either want to do it free content, which is quote-unquote good in a sense, or they might want to, make people pay for it, which, to be fair, is all right. And if you want to overkill, give you some ideas. If you want to make it kind of fair for players who own either Shadow Warrior 2 or any of the Shadow Warrior games, mainly 2 or 1, can get it for free. Well, what if you do it that way? Because, if they want, they can buy that game, and then they still get the content for Payday 2 rather than just buying the DLC. Everybody in my mind kind of wins in a sort of sense, but that's just me. That's just my idea of how they would do that as a Wayne character, but who knows? I don't know if they're working on a character. I don't know if they have any plans, but yeah. So, moving on from that, because we do have more, because this isn't just Shadow Warrior collaboration, there is more. We got the Mega Sydney mask, or the Sydney Swim Challenge mask. Remember when we all helped Georgia, Sydney Van, man, I feel bad because she we're going to move on with that. To reach her charity's goal. After Almir already delivered by cutting his beard of it, it is time for phase 2, the Sydney Mega Mask. Everyone who has donated will get a key to unlock their mask. Once more, thank you for your help. You are our best. Now, I wanted to donate, but I didn't have money. Yeah, I'm pretty sad about it. But, you know, I was thinking, well, what other ways can I help? And the best way that I saw I could help was by retweeting about this, by making a video about it, by letting people know that this exists. And I felt pretty proud. I felt pretty proud of trying to find a way to help. So, for all those people who have the Mega Singing Mask, good for you. Thank you for donating to a good cause. And just look how awesome that mask is. Just look at that. Look at that. You see this right now? You see this right now? I mean, I know for a fact that Seth has it. So if you want to go ask Seth, just go ask him. He also bought the Shadow Warrior 2, so go ask him about that. So moving on from that, we have Payday 2 update 130. Now, there's a lot. This is everybody's favorite segment where I go into all the bug fixes. But first, let's get into something a bit different. Features, heisters. Your prayers have been heard. Besides a lot of bug fixes that you will find a little later, we will also implemented something long wanted features. From now on, the team AI can carry bags. I mean, that was already a mod, but still, it's in the main game. I don't know. Let's read on further. Simply throw your bags at them to make them carry your stuff, or shout at them to get it back. In your settings, you will find two new self-explaining options. The first one is mute contractor voices, which means no more annoying info about highs you can do in your sleep. Second option is the toggle HUD. We are waiting for your screenshots. Last but not least, we added a maximize perk deck button. So what does this mean? Well, now you can make Team AI isn't necessarily useless anymore, though I do see a few problems already ahead of this, and why I'm not really going to throw my bags at the AI yet. I imagine that when this releases, a lot of bugs are going to happen, because there is a mod out there. First, we'll get into the mod, and then we'll get into the vanilla stuff. There is a mod out there called, Expert Bots, and basically it adds a fourth bot into the game, which I'm pretty sure I have on because it's better that way. But in a sense, if there's three bots, right, and how is the game going to register there are, three bots? It can only register two. So does that mean it's going to register the third one, or for the bag, or does that mean that bag is now destroyed? That's why I'm a bit afraid of this being implemented. Also, on the other side of this, if you give a bot a bag, and if they look at a turret for too long and then get down, does it work like any normal client player of the game, where the bag instantly just pops up and it's on the ground there? And my concerns is if it doesn't, then the bag disappears and then the heist is screwed over, right? That's my main concern. Hopefully Overkill doesn't have that issue. Now, to the patch notes. Update 130, changelog update size 901 megabytes. So we're going to go into general here. There is lots to cover, as you can see. Lots and lots to cover. Lots and lots to cover. Oh dear. We're going to be here for a while, everybody. So let's go right into it. General. Updated the visuals of the medic. Team AI will prioritize shields less than enemies they can actually shoot. So what does this mean? This means that they won't be shooting shields all the time. Fix an issue where the laser from snipers could remain on the level if they were killed by a drop-in player. Fix an issue where the headless seal dozer could not be marked. Grenades will now show hit markers when dealing damage to an enemy. Wait, hit markers? Oh, really? Alright. Fix an issue where the GOAT trophy did not count goats correctly. Fix an issue with how Jack of all trades worked when using a 360 controller. The player is now able to dominate guards while playing stealth. Yay! Fix an issue where you could stand inside of drills on some levels and cops would not shoot you. Fix an issue where ECM feedback could make enemies get stuck in the air. But what? Fix an issue where the Big Daddy trophy did not count headless dozers. Players will no longer get for doubles when they are in bleed out. Wait, what? Permit for wait, what does it mean? I don't know what that means. Hopefully you guys can figure that out in the comments. Moving on from that, fix an issue where clients would always kill civilians with one melee hit. Okay. Fix an issue with the detection meter staying on the screen after killing or / cable tying spotter. Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. Overkill, thank you. I've been waiting for this update for so long. And what I mean by that is because that has been a main issue for me for a while, where the detection meter will stay on the screen. I don't remember if it was strictly from Pay the Heist HUD or if it moved on from that, but who knows. Moving on from that, fix an issue where the buttons would not match the marked perk deck. Gauge Spec Ops weapons mods are no longer available in the loot drop. But change the description text on armors won't get cut off. Moving on to achievements, which there's only 2. Levels are a whole bunch of, oh my god. Achievements. Fix an issue where players could get the Wind of Change achievement on the very hard difficulty. Fix an issue where the host and clients could get the Overdrill achievement on Mayhem difficulty. Rigged. Moving on. Levels. Aftershock. Fix an issue where it looked like the player AI was hovering above the train wagon. Fix an issue where enemies could sometimes walk through SWAT vans when spawning at a certain point. Alesso. Wow, that heist still exists. Fix an issue on Alesso Arena where body bags wouldn't get removed while demasking. Wait, they were supposed to be removed? Wait, so are you telling me that the body bags just randomly disappear? Is that how that works? What? That doesn't, that's not how, I'm pretty sure, okay, hold on. Fix an issue on Alesso Arena where body bags wouldn't get removed while okay. So does that mean that like a garbage person just comes by and like takes the body bags and throws it in the dumpster? Because that would make sense. That would make absolute perfect sense. Moving on. Art Gallery. Fix an issue where Gauge Spec Ops packs would spawn on Art Gallery. Yeah, Overkill, you should have fixed that further on. Just saying. But hey, I know you're busy people. Fixed a sign that was not connected to the wall. Beneath the mountain. Fix an issue where converted cops could be left behind the airlock. Oh yeah, that was a thing. Fix an issue where players could see through the level from inside a wall in the starting area. Fix a flying rock. Important update, everybody. This shows you that Overkill cares. When they fixed flying rock. Now, I'm not upset at Overkill. I'm just making a joke. So don't start hating on me. It's a joke because it makes no sense why we would mention this, but it's just kind of funny. If it's an issue where bags could get stuck after you have cleared the bunker part. Okay. Add a dozer spawns on Mayhem and 1 down. Ah, shoot. Well, that's going to make that heist harder. Add a ceiling turret on Mayhem and 1 shoot. We really should have done this faster. Fix an issue where the wrong voiceover was played after picking up the key card and blowtorch. Really? Big Bank. Fix invisible ledges in the upstairs offices. Fix an issue where the cops would keep interacting with the time lock even after it was done. Fix an issue where bags would get stuck under the bus after it breaks through the wall. Fix an issue. Wait, this is Big Bank. Oh, not First World Bank. Never mind. My bad. I was confused for a second. I was like, wait, what? Breaks through the wall. Fix an issue where some outlines would be visible from the start of the heist. Fix an issue where Team VO would talk over Bane. Alright, moving on from this. Big Oil. Fix an issue where enemies could shoot the player through rocks on day 2. Fix a number of graphical issues on day 2. Fix a shadow that was in the wrong place on day 2. Fix an issue where the wall would go through the floor on the second floor on day 2. Fix an issue where some broken light bulbs would still limit light on day 1. Fix a floating key card on day 1. Huh. Biker Heist. Added events to day 2 on Mayhem and 1 down. Added trucks on day 2 on Mayhem and 1 down. Added missing opponents on day 1 on Mayhem and 1 down. Man, we really should have. We should have really just started doing 1 down stuff. Birth of the Sky. Added the bulldozer to the plane on Mayhem and 1 down. Fixed Is that say Miss Angle? I think that's Miss Angled. Well, between the diner and the car dealership, fix a wall behind the car shop that ended too soon so the players could see through the world. Fix an issue with a flying money bundle. Converted cops will no longer stay on the plane, thank goodness. Fix an issue where corpses could get stuck in the air at the back of the plane. Fix an issue where the ladder bag would disappear if you threw it at a ladder already on the level. Fix an issue where you could see where you cannot. Oh, hold on. Fix an issue where you cannot open the doors in the plane if you were standing too close to them. Thanks. Fix an issue where the spawns for Mayhem and 1 down would not work during the water escape. And wait, what the heck? And an extra thermite paste case at the end of the level. You added 4 more gates, didn't you? You added 4 more gates to... It's either that or they just added it to be cool. So I don't know which one. Fix an issue where the player would be safe from enemies down in the sewers. Well, yeah. Boiling point. Fix so that hostages can enter the server room. Fix so that shields can no longer interact with the EMP. Wait, boiling point? Oh, boiling point. Yeah, never mind. Bomb forest. Fix a box that was placed in a strange angle. Fix an issue with the different pumps on the level would award different XP. Branch banks. Fix an issue where bags could get stuck on the top of a vent. Fix an issue where there was collision sticking out of the wall that the player could not walk on. Fixed a floating cup. Important details, everybody. Important details. Fix an issue with some voiceover lines for the thugs behind the bank. Fix an issue so that the SWATs no longer spawn before the first responders. Fix an issue where some Titan cameras were clipping with the walls. Car shop. Added stealth icon to the list on crime.net. Do you really need that, though? Do you really need that? Hold on, wait. This actually takes me to a link. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Hold on. I'm going to open this up in a different tab. Can I even open this up on a different tab? Well, you guys just saw a bunch of videos uploading. Oh, well. Hold on. Open this up in a different tab. I know, Steam. I know. I just want to see. Probably not. No, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it can't be reached. Oh, well, moving on from that. Let's see. Okay. Removed invisible collisions in the van at the end of the level. There's an issue where the escape van could sometimes open its doors twice. Okay, moving on to... Oh my gosh, there's so much to read. Cook-off. Fix an issue where the police chopper would remain for drop-in clients throughout the heist. Fix an issue where the helicopter would only be visible the first time it drops of ingredients. Fix an issue where the broken light bulb would respawn when the cops cut the power. But that's how lights work. Move some gauge packages that were spawning inside trash bags. Fix a light source that would remain even after the light has been destroyed. Counterfeit. Added Pensacola cop car. What? Wait, that's counterfeit, not undercover. What? I'm going to have to check that out. Fix an issue where Bane would tell you to use a crowbar on the basement door when you had already sawed it open. Fix an issue where Biles' voiceover would start too late when leaving with the printed money. Fix an issue with the door that would not play a sound effect when being breached. Fix an issue where the wrong shields would spawn on one down. Fix an issue where the objective would not change if the owner was killed in stealth. What? Fix an issue where the voiceover would be loud when in casing mode. Updated cop cars. Updated cop cars. That's good overkill. Diamond Store. Fix an issue where the player AI would open/close a door whenever entering that room. Fix an issue where part of the sidewalk did not have a proper shadow. Fix an issue where the door was clipping with the air vent. Fix an issue where some cloth was clipping with a bus stop. Fix an issue where enemies would fall through the back staircase if they died on it. Fix an issue. Well, he's playing Shadow Warrior 2. Okay. I would like it, but it's just I have other games that I want to buy this year, so it's kind of like, eh. So moving on from that, fix an issue where enemies would fall through the back staircase if they died on it. Fix an issue where the escape zones were floating a bit. Fix an issue with endless assaults on one down. Election day. Fix an issue where players could see out of the level on day 1. Fix an issue where cops would kick and stand by finishing voting machine on day 2. Fix an issue where the team AI would sometimes stand inside of each other on day 2. Fix an issue where bags could get stuck on the roof on day 2. Fix an issue where the player could interact with one of the voting machines through the wall on day 2. That's nice. Fix an issue where a building was missing collision on day 2. Fix an issue where the van doors would not open for dropping clients on day 3. Moving on from that, fix an issue where a pole would clip through a food stand. Fix an issue where the ceiling would flicker inside the vault. Oh, we still have so much more to go. Oh my god, there's so gosh darn much. Like, they went full out with this update. Okay, so where were we? We were, like, by the escapes. Hold on. Okay. Escape. Garage. Fix an issue with the AI not following you up the stairs if you use C4 on the door. Escape park. Turn off the street lights during daytime. Fix an issue with stepping up on the sidewalk. Escape street. Fixed an issue with some snipers hovering in the air. Escape cafe. Fixed an issue with the team AI can walking through the van in the beginning of the escape. Fixed an issue where the player could get stuck behind a table. Fire starter. Removed misplaced C4 interaction on day 2. Made floating stacks of paper not float anymore on day 2. Fixed issue with the floating phone on day 2. Fixed an issue with the server would not appear in the van on day 2. Fixed an issue where one camera on day 2 could not be looped. Fixed an issue where the wasteful achievement could be unlocked on Mayhem on day 1. Fix an issue where the player could stand in the air. Fix an issue with some flickering on a floor in the beginning of day 1. First of all, bank. Fix an issue where the briefcase was clipping into the table. Removed a wall near the escape. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck on an objective if he used a keycard as the alarm went off. Fixed issues with items floating and having very low texture. Moving on, we have 4 stores. 4 stores. Fix an issue where the cops would get out of their cars without playing an animation. Frame added an icon for cutting the fence on day 3. Fixed so that a gauge package does not clip with the ground anymore. Gauge pack does not clip with the ground anymore on day 3. Fixed an issue where a guard could land in a spot where you could not answer his pager on day 3. Fixed so that players can no longer get stuck behind the vault door on day 3. Fixed an issue where cords were clipping with the wall. Fixed an issue where the collision were not angled with the wall on day 1. Fixed an issue where the team AI could sometimes stand in each other on day 2. Fixed an issue with double ambushes on day 2. Double ambushes? Oh, right. That should be like a 1-down thing where you get double ambushes. Actually, that's a bad idea. Never mind. Go Bang. Add a bulldozer spawns in the sewers on Mayhem and 1-down. Fix an issue with enemies floating in the air after jumping down from the skylight. Fixed so that gauge packs will no longer spawn inside boards. Okay. Goat Simulator. Fixed so that players can no longer get stuck behind the goat cage door in the truck on day 1. Fix an issue where clipping buckets on day 2. Fix an issue with books clipping in the control room on day 2. Fix an issue with enemies clipping through the hay bundles after jumping through a window. Fix an issue with secured bags between days. Fix an issue where collision would not work correctly if a goat ended up under the secure cage on day 1. Add opponents on Mayhem and 1-down. Add a... what the balls is that? Stationary assistant. I don't know. On Mayhem and 1-down, added barrels falling from truck on day 2 on Mayhem and 1-down. Add opponents during the driving sequence on day 2 on Mayhem and 1-down. Golden Green Casino fixed so that the player can no longer pick up the water tanks after the BFD is done. Fixed so that the cameras on Mayhem and 1-down on tiny cameras. Fixed an issue where the escape limo would appear for a brief moment at the start of the level. Fixed some places where enemies would hover over the ground. Hotline Miami. Fixed so that enemies also take damage when you blow up the gas station on day 1. Thank you. Add money to the vault on day 2 on Mayhem and 1-down. Hogs and Breakout. Fix so the converted cops does not stay on the street after you enter the garage on day 1. Fix so that bulldozers will spawn in the control room on day 1 on Mayhem and 1-down. Replace vans on the level so that they no longer have the player's skins on day 1. Add the correct spawns on day 2 for Mayhem and 1-down. Move gauge packs so that you can see them easily on day 2. Fix an issue where the player could see through the wall while by the escape zone on day 2. Moving on. Oh my gosh, there's just so much. I can't handle all this. I can't. I miss water. Okay, moving on. Hawks and Revenge. Fixed so that the AI can get up on the roof. Hold on. Get up onto the roof of the house. My bad. Fix a key card that was clipping into a chair on the 2nd floor. Fix an issue where the wrong voiceover is played if the FBI boss, escapes. Remove 2 shape charge interactions that did nothing. Fix an issue where the wrong voiceover is played when opening a window in stealth. Fix an issue where you could lockpick barricaded windows. Fix so that you cannot interact with the camera from the inside of the house. Fix the time for hacking the laptop on Mayhem and 1-down. Fix enemy spawns when the helicopter comes in on Mayhem and 1-down. Jewelry store. Really? Okay. Fix flying antennas onto the building where the escape van leaves if you go loud. Fix an issue where the player could see through a vent where the escape van leaves if you go loud. Fix an issue where you had 2 lockpick interaction marks on one of the windows. Fixes several places where bags could get stuck. Fixed holes in 2 buildings on the level. You think, right, if what's its face? What's the stupid if if Ukrainian job comes up on here, they really should just label it jewelry store / Ukrainian job, to be honest, but that's just me. Lab rats fixes specific enemy spawns on Mayhem and One Down. Fix issue where clipping gauge pack. Ball crashers fix overlapping roadway mark. Fix clipping issues with the garage. Fix an issue where the player would not be attacked in the hallway of the gym. Fix an issue where the sniper laser would clip through the roof. Meltdown. Fix so that you can no longer get the Longfellow completely stuck. Add a helicopter spawn on Mayhem and One Down. I'm missing. I still have no idea. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. Just so that no one can make fun of me, I'm gonna look this up on Google. I'm gonna use Google. It's the best plan. Let's see. Copy. All right. Let's look on Google. GOOGLE. Word. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm just gonna look up how to pronounce. There we go. How to pronounce it. That's what matters, right? Okay. Hold on.
Don't look now.
Oh,
Chuck Norris is right
It's
behind.
about healthcare. Hold on. I need to wait. Oh, it's Chuck Norris. It's Chuck Norris, everybody. Hold on. Okay.
Stationary.
Oh. I still have no idea. Hold on. We got to figure out this other word. Hold on. We got to. Okay. All right. Okay. How are my videos doing? Oh man. A few of them are already up. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Assailant.
Oh, stationary assailants. I get it now. Okay, moving on. On Mayhem and One Down. Murky Station. Fix an issue where guards would sometimes walk through the trains cars and trigger the alarm. Fix an issue where two team AI would sometimes spawn inside each other. Moved gauge packs so that they do not clip with the walls. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck behind the vault door. Fix a spelling error in subtitle. Oh, let's switch to Murky Station. My bad. Yeah, I was like, that has to be stationary assailants, but I wasn't sure. So, moving on from that, we have new safe. Oh my god, why? Why do you have to do this to me? New safe house. Fixed issue with collisions in the kitchen on all tiers. Fix so that you can't talk to Soko through the wall from Bodhi's room. Wait. Oh, okay. Fix so the player can't communicate with Houston from below when he is lying on the ground. Delete a pipe in John Wick's room. Fix so that the truck and car trophies no longer float. Removed some boxes from Dallas's room. Fix so that Houston does not clip with the floor on tier 1. Removed random whiskey bottle from under Clover's table on tier 1. Fix graffiti in killing room so that it does not disappear when you get too close. Fix a floating exit sign in the corridor near Dragon. Fix floating blueprints in Chains' room on tier 3. Move the cooking meth for dummies trophy. Add collision to a beam in the living room on tier 1. Fix clipping boxes in Chains' room on tier 1. Fix flicking object inside the vault on tier 2. Fix so that skill bonus applies to Dragon's punching bag. Fix some floating objects in Scarface room on tier 3. Removed collision tier 3 that was present in tier 1 in Jimmy's bar. Removed floating objects in Clover's room on tier 3. Fix so that the Longfellow does not hover in the air. Remove stuff sticking up through the floor in Rust's room on tier 3. Fix so that the burn your offshore money update correctly. Oh, okay. Fix so that the player who is actually playing roulette will see the results. Fix some floating objects in Clover's room on day 3. New safe house raid. Fix an issue with the team getting stuck under stairs. Fix issues with some enemies walking through doors. Fix so that the AI and enemies can't shoot through the unbreakable floor window. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck behind a money pile in Sydney's room in tier. Fix an issue where the wave counter did not sync properly for clients. Fix so the dozer pinata does not hover in the air. Overkill. Why is Scarface room still not open so I could go in there? Why? Probably doesn't fit with like the raid, to be honest. Anyways, moving on. Nightclub. Remove floating deck of cards. Fix an issue where the player could stand in the air close to the disco ball. Fix an issue where Bane would tell you to drill the safe even though you were already drilling it. Panic room. Oh my god, there's so much. There's so much. This is going to be like an hour-long video. Panic room. Alright. Fix so that the player can no longer place or restart drills through the walls. Added... Oh, shoot. That's going to be an issue. Adding missing opponents on Mayhem and One Down. Fix an issue where the collision on a toilet wall after an explosion removed a parked car to another parking spot. Fix a lot of floating and clipping objects. Move the cash register so that it does not clip with the table. Fix an issue with the graffiti appearing and disappearing. Remove some floating debris. Rats. Fix so that you can't plink the same window twice. Removed cop cars that did not drive into level but just popped in. Is my water? Oh, yeah, it is in here. Hold on. That water did not help. Anyways, moving on. Fix so that the helicopter no longer flies through the lumber mill. Wait. Oh. Let's see. Fix an issue where the player could stuck between the fence and the escape van. Fix an issue with the bag value between day 2 and 3. Players can no longer get loot stuck on the helicopter that comes in to pick it up. Fix an issue with a mobster that did nothing on day 3. Excuse me. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Alright, I have to make this quick because I have to feed animals. Alright, come here, kitty. Let's see. Fix an issue with the player could get stuck between the Fix an issue with bag value between day 2 and 3. Players can no longer get loot stuck on the helicopter that comes in to pick it up. Fix an issue with a mobster that did nothing on day 3. Scarface Mansion. Remove some collisions that remained after the railing in the red room was destroyed. Removed a calendar in the red room. Moved the boat in the dock so that the player can't stand on the water. Fixed an issue where some money bundles were visible for clients and not the host. Fixed so that loot bags are visible in the vans. Fixed so that the wall lamps no longer light up the surrounding area after they are destroyed. Fixed an issue with the wrong voiceover player with breaking stealth. Okay, never mind. They fed them. That's good. I feel bad. One of the many reasons why I don't do cuts anymore is because I'm afraid that, well, YouTube doesn't really like 1 hour stuff, so, yeah. Let's see here. Fix an issue where the cameras wouldn't get disabled after you killed the boss in stealth. Moved an umbrella that were sticking into the ground. Fix an issue where paintings voiceover would play too late. Fix an issue where Bio could say, hook up the next one while arriving at the first car. Made the boss scream more when he is standing on the balcony. Well, the balconies. Okay. Fix an issue where the boss wouldn't retreat properly while getting shot at on the office balcony. Fix so that you get proper interaction text when fixing the circuit boxes. Fix some issues with collisions on the balcony. Fix the hint you get with aborting the phone call in stealth. Fix an issue where the player could see outside of the map using camera feed. Oh, well, that's bad. Removed unnecessary collision on the roof. Fix an issue where the throwable assets were clipping with what the? I have no idea what that says. I probably know what the word is. It's just I don't know how to say it. So fix clipping lamps by dining room in the mansion. Jesus, we got more. We have more, Houston. I don't know if I can handle it anymore. Is it just too much? Too much to read. Who reads this stuff? Shadow Raid. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck behind the boxes and fall through the level. Fix so that all fences hair interactions on them. Fix an issue where clipping textures and missing art. Fix some issues where bags could get stuck in unreachable places. Fix an issue with a gap between the ceiling and roof. Fix an issue where players could grab coke through the wall on the second floor. Fix an issue with the boat clipping and disappearing. Fix an issue where one of the two vans would not open. Slaughterhouse. Fix an issue where the wrong cops spawned as harassers. Okay. Adds missing dozer spawn on mayhem and one down. Fix an issue. I probably said that wrong. Fix an issue where you could not reach a hostage to trade him in the beginning of the heist. Fix so that the metal door in the beginning no longer closes. Fix some flicking issues on the level. Stealing Xmas. Made the windows on the roof break if you shoot them with a grenade launcher. Fix so that all windows on the dome can be destroyed. Fix an issue with the Thunder Snow achievement. Change snipers on lower difficulties. Fix an issue where you could pick up shoes before hacking the computer. Add collision to one of the roofs. Team AI will now follow you in the shoe store back room. Change spelling of Christmas. What? Oh, was it like Xmas or something? The bomb dockyard. Fix a hole in the ground. Fix an issue where Bane would play the wrong voice over for the camera guard. Fix an issue where the C4 bag could be shot into the water using explosives. That's bad. The diamond. Fix a part of the fence that did not collide with bag, make them fall out of the level. Remove 2 camera spawns that did not activate. Add a collision above a door where the bag could get stuck in an unreachable spot. Fix an issue where the timer on the puzzle would not appear on Mayhem, Deathwish, or One Down. Shoot! Man, I got lucky. I got lucky because I was like, there's no timer. What? This is easy. Fix an issue where guards could fall down through the ground where the players could not reach the pager. The diamond. Floated civilian on the middle floor. Fix an issue where all experience was awarded at the end of the heist. Moving on. Transporter train heist. Fix an issue where guards could fall down a hole where the players could not reach the pager. Converted cops will no longer open train cars. Fix a Fix a zip line that was clipping with the stand. Fix a zip line that was not attached properly. Fix an issue where the bike spawn point would appear even if the players spawned by the boat. Tweak the trigger for the loot appearing in the boat so it will not appear before it was landed. Transport park. Fix an issue where players could get stuck behind a door. Gosh, why do you have to add Ukrainian? Just add them both. All right, moving on. Fix an issue where guards could see through the boarded fence. Fix an issue... Boarded fence, what? Fix an issue where a smoke grenade would go off during stealth. Yeah, I remember that. That was a thing. Add a missing piece of the roof on a side building. Fixed flickering light. Adjusted collision to the fire ladder that was lower than a ladder. Removed camera from neighbor store on Death Wish and 1 down. Why? Move the busts on the safe slightly. Oh, okay. Fix an issue where a collision above the counter was there even when the counter was not. Undercover, block the player from being able to get stuck behind a few collisions. Fix multiple safe spots where the player were unable to take any damage by enemies. Fix a vent on the floor, or on floor 3, the player could use, well, what the heck? Fix a vent on floor 3, the player, could use to able to get, outside a level. Okay, thanks. Watch Dogs. Fix the graphical glitch. Replace the Intel cops with ZL cops on 1 down. Fix an issue where gauge packages could... Checking the mic levels right now. Fix an issue where gauge packages could spawn inside the warehouse on Death Wish and 1 down. White X miss. Move a president that was clipping with the environment. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck under a tree. There you go. I just read you a bunch of bug fixes that involve with the stupid heists. Moving on to perk decks, side jobs, and all that. Gosh darn it, there's still more. There's still more. Perk decks. The Anarchist, Biker, and Kingpin will now give the correct bonuses to infamous item drop. Okay. Tweet the description of the right to the top perk and the Kingpin perk deck. Updated the descriptions of the Prez and Road Captain perks for the Biker perk deck to correctly say 15 seconds cooldown instead of 25. Side jobs. Fix incorrect trigger for the First World TD side job. The Ninja side job will now allow... wait, what the heck? The Ninja side job will now allow the use of the Kingpin throwable. Fix an issue where the Cocaine Rush and Loud Enough side jobs was not connected to Russ in the safe house. Why would it? Change the name of the Elephant in the Room side job to Longing for Attention. Elephant in the Room for longing. What? Update the description of the First World TD side job to correctly indicate that it refers to armored vans on loud-only heists. Update the description of the First World TD side job to correctly indicate triggers and difficulties. Moving on. Skills. So much. The body expertise skills will now correctly affect dozers. Oh, really? The Lust for Life perk will now trigger for all grenade launchers or rocket launchers. The Akimbo skill will now stack with the bonuses from the Hitman perk. Great. Thanks. Mission equipment now got transferred correctly when using Stockholm Syndrome Ace skill. The skill tree level points is not shown if the tree is toggles with the arrow keys or controller. The aggressive reload Ace skill will no longer activate on deployables. What? Okay. The Desperado skill will no longer triggers when converted cops team AI, and throwables does damage to an enemy. The Rifleman Ace skill will now increase zoom level on pistols as well. Nice. That's actually a good. Wait, what? The Trigger Happy skills will now trigger on the Chopper turret. Clients will now be able to get the bonus of High Value Target Ace skill. The Trigger Happy skills will now trigger on the SWAT turret. Updated the description on the Joker Ace skill to correctly indicate the 100% increase of damage, not 200%. Updated the description of Inspire Basic skill to include the bonus to reload speed. What? Updated the description of the Rifle Ace skill to feature a value instead of percentage. Sorry, I wanted to check on my cat. Skins. Fix an issue where an additional locked mint condition skin would appear in the skins preview list, even if players owns. Wait, what? Fix an issue where the additional locked mint condition skin would appear in the skins preview list, even if the player owns one. Odd. Updated the description for skins to a little friend 2.62 assault rifle. Sound. Still more stuff. Robbers will now use correct VO when asking AI to stay and not use VO meant for civilians. Fix an issue where the pager sound could be heard even after the pager has been answered. Twerked VO and subtitles for the escape van driver. SteamOS. Fix an issue where the ocean did not appear on the scarf. What does it look like? What would it look like then? Just like Swedish like error. Fix an issue where the ocean did not appear on the Scarface Mansion heist. I did not. Wow. Fix an issue where the wrong cube maps were used in the boss room on the Scarface Mansion heist. Weapons. Add a description to the electric brass knuckles that explains the additional effects of the weapon. Fix an animation issue with the quad stack mag when equipped on a CRA 805B submachine gun toward the rotation of the whiskey bottle melee weapon preview. Fix a animation issue with interacting while using the cavity 9mm assault rifle. Fix an issue where reloading the underbarrel grenade launcher for the little friend assault rifle would not cancel a sprint. Wait. What? Okay. Fix the Spear of Freedom animation so that the weapon does not appear on the screen at the beginning of the animation. Fix an issue where the bipod mod for LMG would not give accuracy bonuses while deployed. Fix an issue where the reload animation for the underbarrel grenade launcher for the little friend assault rifle would not cancel when run. Wait, isn't that what you just literally just said? Is that what you just literally... What? Okay. Fix so the flip sight on the GL40 and China Puff grenade launchers won't change the gun's position while aiming. That's great. I think. I don't know. Alright, let's look at the comments. How to install update. Okay, melee weapons are so weak these days. Is very disappointing. Lots of Russian. Okay, so I've spent about an hour already talking about this, but just to go through everything over again. Shadow Warrior. I feel like Shadow Warrior got more than Payday 2. I'm really hoping that Wayne becomes a character soon. Masks. Looks alright. Ghost in the Shell. Melee weapon. Does it really matter? Like, what difficulty are they even playing on? Is this like... It's like overkill? Oh, God. Make a Sydney mask. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that mask for a while, and I'm glad that people are getting it. It looks very cool. And the fact that we can now throw bags at... I still have concerns about that, about the Team AI carrying bags. Mute contractor voices. I would like there to be an option of who I can mute, so I can just mute lock the whole time. That would be very nice. Toggle HUD. I don't really understand the point of that. I mean, I guess screenshots are nice. And maximize perk deck button. That is, what? And then a bunch of, like, bug fixes. So I would say that Overkill, I'm very proud of you, for, like, really doing what a lot of the community have asked for. Not to, like, sound rude or anything, like, oh, you failed or anything. What I'm basically saying is that a lot of players have wanted just bug fixes for the game just to make it better because they find that updates, right? Like, just constant updates and DLC don't really... I mean, they bring fun to the game, but they don't really fix the game, like collision bugs and all that. So I'm really happy that you are doing, like, big patch fixes like these, and I'm very happy about this. So thank you so much, Overkill. Can't wait for a lot of the awesome content that will be coming out for Payday. Hopefully we get Wayne as a character and not just Ghost in the Shell in this. So, yeah. Anyways, that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please check out some of the other videos on the channel. If you are a new person, how the heck did you, like, last 1 hour? Like, seriously. Some better YouTuber obviously just did this in, like, 4 minutes. So... But, yeah, thank you for watching this video. I do Payday 2 videos from time to time, and I do other videos that are not just strictly Payday 2 because I don't like doing Payday 2 all the time. anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and that's about it. So I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day. That's about it, and see you guys in the next video. Mr. Way needs to be a character. Overkill, please. Let's make that happen.